Are some of you lost? Can't find your way? Having trouble what direction your life is taking? If that's you, you probably need to learn how to use your dive compass properly. I was on a dive a week ago, and I had a whole bunch of people that could not remember how to use their dive compass. I'm not really sure why. It's not that difficult, but I get for people who don't like numbers, and there's a lot of people, and that's not saying that they're not smart or they're stupid or anything like that. It's just some people do not like numbers, and they don't even want to deal with them. And when it comes to just basic numbers and how a compass is set up, they just kind of like block it out of their mind. But I'm making this video to show you how simple it is to use any compass, but we're going to specifically go over the dive compass. There's a couple different parts to the compass that you want to know. The first thing is the bezel, and the bezel is basically this part here that rotates around, that has the different directional degrees on it. This line here, they call that the lubber line, like, yeah, land lubber, but yeah, lubber line. And then you have the compass, and then you have a little side window here, which kind of makes it easier to view. If you've got it on your wrist, you can, as you're swimming along, you can have it at eye level and follow direction that way, or obviously you can look down at it. Why is it important to use your compass and use your compass headings? It is very, very easy, especially if it is dark. It is super easy, or if it's cloudy conditions, bad visibility, it's very easy to get disoriented. Even when conditions are very nice and very clear, it is easy to get disoriented. The one thing you cannot get in a habit of doing is trusting your brain and your senses underwater. There are certain things you can trust about them. Direction is not one of them. You will feel like you are, oh yeah, I was facing this way when I got in the water. I feel like I'm facing this way again. I'm gonna head this way. I'll get turned around. Even if you have a compass on, you're following a direction and a heading on your compass. If someone asked you to turn around and go back the opposite way, or go 90 degrees to your right or left, you could find yourself completely going the wrong direction. And even a little bit of direction change over a great distance will lead you far, far, far off course. Again, that's not just with diving. It is also with any type of time you're using headings, so sailing, flying, and the faster you go, the more exaggerated this becomes. Let's say you're flying and you're on a heading of 120, and maybe you're off, maybe you're like 124. You'll be miles and miles off, and if you continue that bad heading, you'll be way off. So you want to frequently adjust your position as you're following your heading to get as close to. Now, this is not going to be as accurate as like a GPS or something like that, but they're pretty accurate as long as you make your adjustments and follow them properly and use them properly. And we're going to go over basically the real basic version of using this compass, so that you don't get confused, and it's going to clear up any issues that you may have with it. So again, we went over all the parts of the compass. Let's take a look at the compass while we're using it. And I'm in my swivelly chair, so that means I can swivel around with this compass, and it should be pretty easy. I don't even have to get up. All right, this is our compass here, and as you can see, we have the 0 right in the lubber line between those two. The lubber line is between those two bars. Okay, so the lubber line you want to line up with your direction. So let's say wherever you're at, let's say we want to go 270. So 270. Now what you will do is you will put the north, which is like the triangle there, you will put that into these two pieces here. So we'll go ahead and rotate, 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 rotate. And as we go here, we have the triangle right in between. So we are headed, right now, we are facing 270, which is west. Now let's say we're traveling 270 and we want to go, let's say we want to go the opposite direction, right? So the opposite direction, what is across from 270? Well, it's 90 degrees. So we want to go east now. We want to go back from which we were facing. So we want to go back to the opposite direction we're facing now. So you rotate the bezel to 90 degrees. And again, we have to match the triangle in between these two pieces. So we rotate. And boom. We are now going east and facing east. See the triangle in between here? So when you're underwater or walking or whatever, you're just going to orient yourself. I was going to say orientate. I don't even know if that's a word. But you want to orient yourself to where the triangle goes between those two posts, those two markers on the bezel. Okay, so now let's say we want to go south. So south is 180, obviously. So you'll rotate 180 to the lubber line. And now we rotate to put the triangle back in to the 0 position, which is the 0 is north, right? So we rotate ourselves. And now we are facing south. We're headed southbound because south, 180 is south, and that is what is at the top of our compass here. And then what is directly behind us is north. Opposite direction is north is 0. So 0 or 360, right? Because 360 degrees makes a circle. So 0 being north, 360 is also north. Half of it, 180, is south. 270, west. 90 degrees, east. So you want to become familiar with those orientations. So now we want to head back north. What do? How do we head back north? We rotate the top of our bezel to the heading we want to go and match it on the lubber line. 0, north. Now we got to get this triangle to fit in between those two posts on the bezel. So we rotate. And once again, we are now facing north. And if we're moving, we're headed north. That's the basics on how to use the compass. Again, if you want to look, the side view, you have to make sure that this is balanced, right? That's the other important thing when using a compass. You can't use a compass tilted. You can't use a compass tilted to the side, any type of weird orientation. You have to have it level so that the disc is floating inside. So as we look down, we rotate ourselves. Doot, doot, doot. Bam. 0 degrees. Headed north. 30 degrees. 60 degrees. 90 degrees. Where are we headed? East. 120, 150. Boom, 180. Headed south. Rotating. 270. Bam, west. Rotate back. 180, south. East. North. Just that easy. That's the basic compass. Another video, we'll talk about dive watch. We'll talk about a dive watch and a dive computer. So again, that's the basics of using a dive compass. And again, you can use this for any compass. And it's good to become familiar with it. Practice on dry land. What you may have if you're in poor visibility and you're looking for something, you may have a set of waypoints. So they may say you're gonna use your dive compass in conjunction with your kick count. So you're gonna do a bunch of examples of tests, typically when you're learning to dive, but when you improve in your swimming, you're going to maybe have a better kick count, right? So what you're gonna do is kick, and you're gonna count your kicks from 1 foot to where it returns to the same position. So 1, 2, 3. How many kicks does it take over a certain time to give you a certain distance? So however many kicks where you can get to 100 feet, let's say, and you break that down, or you can break it down in the amount of time that it takes. So you'll combine your kick count with your directions. So they may say, oh, you have to go, and when you get in the water, go north for 100 meters. So you do some calculations. Oh, I go 100 meters. This is how many kicks it takes me to get to 100 meters. And you'll kick that count for 100 meters going north. Then at north, there may be a waypoint to 120. Then you might have to turn 120 for a certain amount of distance. You see what I mean? That's kind of how, and we can go over that in another video. Right now, this one's more just about the compass, but you want to combine compass with kick count and stuff like that. That's what's going to take you on into different directions and help you navigate an area, especially when you can't see. But it's even sometimes difficult when you can see and visibility is perfectly clear. If you like the video, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Think about subscribing if you haven't already. You know, I have a ton of subscribers. I have like 4 right now. So join it's a real tight-knit, very small, exclusive community. So feel free to subscribe if you are so inclined. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about episodes. If not, give me a thumbs down. Leave me a shitty comment. That always works too. Also, if you have any questions or anything like that, as always, put them in the comments, and I will see you next time.